Yeah. Today's early morning podcast session is brought to you by Chris, who is a lovely human being who makes good coffee.
I'm so jealous that you got to see them.
I know. I assumed you would be. That's why I went. No, just kidding. I know.
Oh. I haven't gotten my socializing in with anybody in person in forever other than, like, my boss. So it's like, I want to see people at menial places.
It's like, I want to go.
I want to go get coffee.
I was just telling my parents, I was like, I have to leave the house at least once, or else I will contemplate gargling nails.
You haven't already?
I haven't yet.
Wow.
I've just contemplated it. I thought, and I was like...
Oh, no, that's what I meant. Like, you haven't contemplated gargling nails yet at this point?
No, I have. Yeah, I guess I have contemplated. I just haven't done it yet. So, which is good. That's
by
the plan.
Point that you can talk, yeah.
And we're good.
Don't slouch. Move closer so that it can actually hear me.
Pinky's out.
Pinky's out. Pinky's out.
Pinky's out. Hey, y'all, we're doing it live.
I was about to make a SpongeBob reference, but now it is too late for that.
Ah, dang it. I messed it up.
You done goofed on my goof. It's fine.
I goofed your goof, and I'm sorry about the goof.
Yeah. Okay, well, welcome to our probably first of many comic episodes. Just knowing who we are as people. You were like, grab 3 to 5 of your favorite comics/comic series.
I grabbed
8.
2. I grabbed 2.
Oh. I couldn't decide, so I can narrow mine down.
I mean, I can definitely talk about a lot more than what I grabbed. I was just thinking about more obscure stuff that's either super new or stuff that people may have not have heard about.
Okay. Well,
then talking, but I could talk about Black Cat or Spider-Man all day.
Yeah. I will talk about then the first 2 that formed my comic flavor palette. But I will let you go first with one of yours, and we can just kind of
sure
bounce back and forth.
Age before beauty. I understand.
Yeah, basically.
I understand. So this is new, super, super, super new. I think it came out last week. It is called Batman: The Adventure Continues.
Okay.
So, this is the continuation. This is basically season 5 of the animated series.
Oh.
So the animated series, the original one, that is basically the reason why Batman is popular today. Kevin Conroy as Batman, Mark Hamill as the Joker, all like the heavy hitters, the classic Batman. Still probably my favorite interpretation of all the characters, still.
Mm-hmm.
There was a point in time where the art style changed, but also, where there was also like a jump in time. So Dick Grayson was Robin for majority of the series. And then season 4 hit, and then all of a sudden Dick Grayson is now Nightwing, and Tim Drake is Robin.
Okay.
And there's also an art style change. I like both versions of the art style, but it's pretty drastic. I'm trying to actually remember. I think the new show, the new book is based off of the newer art style that the show interpreted, which is still good. But there's one very specific storyline that the original TV show didn't touch, and I think it's probably because, like, I don't know, it's probably too adult or too mature. But They never touched Jason Todd in the original show, which is the second Robin.
And the one they technically skipped over
skipped him over in the animated show because what happens to him is incredibly gruesome.
It's a bit messed up, yeah. I can concur with that.
It's a bit messed up. So, so the original show did Dick Grayson. A lot of time has passed, and now Tim Drake is Robin. This one is a continuation and not like an in-between. It is season 5, but it's the Red Hood storyline.
Oh,
in
okay.
that world.
That's got to be really interesting.
It's only one issue is out, and it's being released digitally because physical comics don't exist anymore.
Thanks, Diamond.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so
Opinions.
issue 1 is out, and you can buy it. It's like 99 cents on the DC like comic book store online.
Okay.
It was pretty good. It was there's a lot of Lex Luthor in it.
That's I guess DC universe.
DC, you know, there's a lot of, actually, I was surprised to see there's a lot of discussion about the first Superman Batman team up from the animated series as well.
Okay.
There was like a movie, like a short like movie that was made where it was like, oh my gosh, these two animated series that were so good and beloved, like they teamed up, you know, it was the first time Batman met Superman in that universe.
Yeah.
But they talk about that episode a lot in the first issue.
Okay.
But it was I really liked it. It was, like I said, first issue, and you only see Jason on like the last panel, and he's like hiding in shadows because he's edgy, because he's Jason Todd.
Yeah.
You don't even know
what.
He's a bit of an edgelord. Yeah, a bit. More than just a bit.
Yeah. I was trying to be nice.
Yeah.
The man's got issues and isn't afraid to angst about them publicly.
He's playable in the second Injustice game, the fighting game, and he has like custom intros for everyone that he fights. And first off, he jumps into the fight doing like a spinning gun kata in the air because he's like that. But he has something super edgy and dark to say to literally everyone in that game, and it's hilarious.
Oh boy, oh.
It's hilarious. And then also there's like not my favorite because it's cool, but my favorite because it's super funny is the Jason Todd that's in Batman Arkham Knight, the third Arkham game.
Yeah.
Where like he's just crying.
Oh no. Oh.
Like the whole game he's talking into this like voice modulator because he does not want Batman to know who he is. So a lot of the game he sounds like and then the second he takes it off, he's just like, "What have you done to me?" It's so funny. I love it. I love it. But like I said, it's just issue 1. We don't even know what the Red Hood design looks like for this show. Ooh. It's just him without the helmet or the mask or whatever they decide to do.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes. I'm looking forward to when all this quarantine stuff is over and I may just be able to buy that stuff physically.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. That's my first one. What do you got?
Okay. I got one that I was afraid that you might have, so I'm doing it first so that you have time to make a decision if you also chose this one. Find something new.
I'm gonna tell you why you didn't.
Okay. My first one is Die.
I forgot that Die existed.
Look, I did too. I think I've read up through like issue 8, and I think they're up to issue 9 or 10 now.
Yeah,
so
they're
I'm
at 10.
a little bit behind.
They're at 10.
But for those of you not in the know, Die is a comic from Image Comics, and it is.
They're making good stuff.
Oh, it's so good. Like both of my comics I'm talking about are Image Comics. My personal tastes, like as much as I love Marvel things and I like some DC things, I found a lot more comics kind of in that Image and Boom and what's the other one? TKO. That personally I just enjoyed a lot more. And Die was recommended by Lou, the owner of Aegis Comics, who great guy. We've talked about him on both episodes of the show.
Swell dude.
And probably my second time in the shop, he was like, "Hey, you like D&D and stuff like that,
you
right?
Like this dumb board game shit?
You like tabletop role-playing games?" And I'm like, "Yes." And it was far enough into Die's run that they had a trade issue. And so I got the first 5 issues of Die all in one, physical trade. And this comic is so good. The art is amazing. The
It's
storyline is
stellar.
amazing. The concept is this kid designs a tabletop role playing game for his friends to play, and each character is assigned a dice, like a D4 or a D6 or a D12, etc. And then they get sucked into the world of the game and have to fight their way out. And they do so, but they leave the guy that was the designer of the game, the GM, behind in the game of the world of the game. I'm getting real excited.
Yeah,
Can't
man.
talk straight. And so the story follows their adult selves as they go back into the game. And drama and, like the decisions they're past as kids, coming back to bite them in the ass. It's phenomenal. Like, the art alone, I am guilty of buying things just because I like the art.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm the same
But this
way.
one has the story to back it up, too, which is phenomenal.
It's really good. I remember, because you started reading it, you had the trade and the first volume, and you were like, Chase, read this. And I was like, I literally read the first 5 pages and went, you can have this back now. I'm just going to go buy it. Because
Yep.
I'd rather just own this and then keep collecting.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am a little bit jealous. I kind of feel like I should have gotten the individual copies of the first 5, and I might go back and collect them
Also
just to
want to
have
get the first 5 individuals.
Yeah. I love trades. Love them a lot. Great for if you want to just pick up a series that's over and you don't want to like have to hunt down each individual comic. Blah blah blah. But this is one that I would love to have the individual, layouts for each of them. But what makes this one stand out to me even more is they designed a tabletop role-playing game based off the game.
That's right.
Die.
They totally did. They totally did.
They did. It's still technically in beta testing, but it's free online to like download and try out. And I've taken a look at it, and it seems like a nice balance of complicated and simplistic.
The part about it that throws me off about the actual game is that, like, part of the role playing as a player in it is you are supposed to be playing yourself. Or you're not even supposed to be playing yourself. You're supposed to be playing somebody that's stuck in the game.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I'm like, wow, that's like 2 layers of character development there. That's just kind of... That throws me off a little bit, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah. I can vibe with that being a little bit complicated. That is also something that has set me off, other than like not having time or friends, that has stopped me from playing the game.
Like, you're not just playing Bjor the Conqueror, Like, you're playing Jeff, who's playing Bjor the Conqueror.
Yeah.
And
then you're stuck with like, you have to create your character, and then you have to create a character
for that character.
Based off that character that also fits in an archetype that is categorized by each of the dice, blah blah blah. That's its drawback. It's really complicated now that I think about it more.
It's complicated, but the world is super interesting, and there's like combinations of like classic fantasy, but also like cyberpunk stuff and like robots and aliens, and there's all like the classic elves and everything. Everything is
because the tabletop role-playing game that you can play is based off of the tabletop role-playing game that they play in the comic that was designed by like a 15-year-old to accommodate all of his friends' interests.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's messy, but the comic, I assume the game can get just hella dark.
Who's I don't remember the names of any of the characters.
Neither do I.
The guy that has the sadness sword and the cyberpunk girl are so cool.
I am low-key just in love with the speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the dictator. It's got it right in the beginning. Matt. Matt's the Grief Knight, and then Angela's the Neo, who's the cyberpunk one.
Yeah.
But Ash, who's the dictator, she can just like talk and tell people what to do, and it is half of it's the character design. It just gets me.
It's a good design.
All of the drawings are done in just this amazing painted style, and
it's not like it's not watercolor.
Not really. I mean,
it's
kind of watercolor, kind of inky, kind of.
It's a little bit of everything.
Gouache.
It feels kind of like a washed oil.
Yeah, that
pastel
too. That
kind of thing.
That's a good way to describe it. Ugh.
It's good. I didn't think
I'm
about this book
I'm flipping through
at
it
all.
right now. It's just beautiful.
It's a good book. It's good. I highly recommend it.
Yes. So that's my number one.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I keep on getting like the ad saying like issue 11 is coming, and I'm just like, I don't think it is. Like, when are you ever gonna come out? And I want it. I want it so bad.
I'm super jealous. Jacob got because it got super popular because it's amazing. They did a limited release of a repainting of issue 1, like
That's
the
right.
cover,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got like embossed gold, and I think it's autographed.
I almost bought it. I almost did.
You almost bought it. I talked Jacob into buying it for himself.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a bit of like a shipping snafu, and like it wasn't. I could be totally getting this story wrong, but I think it was he bought it and accidentally got it shipped to a convention in like Singapore.
Oh.
But like it was like a snafu and he talked it out, and they ended up sending it back, and I think it's autographed, like to make up for it being
They're
sent.
like, we're really sorry.
I'm sorry that this is completely wrong, but like it took an extra month and a half to get here, but it is, oh my god. I think the cover artist who does some of the variants is Stephanie Hsu, HSU. I could be, again, getting this totally wrong because I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. Let me pull up the Instagram. Chase, fill in for me for a second.
Fill in for you.
I'm gonna switch into focus mode for a second.
You have to. No, this is bad. You've put me on the spot. I have no idea what to do.
Oh, I was totally off. It's Stephanie Hans, and where did it go? Never mind. She's just the artist for the book in general.
Yeah.
I'm stupid. That's why all her covers are just phenomenal.
Is she with that InkInk? What are they called? InkInk Gallery or something like that? We both follow them on Instagram.
Ink Gallery? I don't know.
Because they are the ones that like sell like the variant. They were the ones selling that gold variant.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Or something like that. I can't remember, but
yeah, it's
they're a part of it.
InkInk Collectibles / Gallery. Mm-hmm. Again, lots of phenomenal artists, lots of phenomenal covers.
Just looking at,
I read that as InkInk Collectibles
Kink.
and InkInk Collectibles and Gallery, and I know that's not right.
Well, I mean, it could be InkInk.
No, there's only one K.
But I know. It's I know.
Yeah, I'm sure I could scroll back enough to
those
find
guys
that cover,
like,
but
it's not super recent, but I just saw the advertisements for today or yesterday, which was like a really, really good like Tifa poster, Tifa and Aerith poster, and I'm like, those are super good. Stop making me want to spend money.
Oh, I've got it. I found it on their Instagram. It was the final batch of Die Anniversary variant covers. From Stephanie Hans art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who, 10 out of 10, anybody listening, I would 100% recommend checking out her Instagram, which is at Stephanie Hans art. And InkInk Gallery, if you are so inclined, if you're really into the comics too. Just in general, they've got a lot of great artists on there and a lot of merch that I would definitely recommend. It's so cool.
They're good. We're not even getting paid to say this. We're too new.
Yeah,
we're baby. We don't have power. We don't have ads. We don't get money for this.
I need to stop looking at my phone because I'm just like, oh, that was great art. Oh, look, it's Spider-Gwen.
You can't do that. That's not podcast.
It's bad podcasting to be on my phone while we're recording. Sorry. But yeah, I think that's all I've got for Die. It's one of the comics that I'm just like the most excited about.
It's good. I need to go back and just reread it. Mm-hmm. Because there's parts of that book that like still confuse me, and I just need to read it 5 more times before I understand what's happening.
I just want to look at the art.
It's so good. I love the art.
Some of my friends say, like, I want to print out that art and just eat it so that it is inside of me. It's just so good. Mm-hmm. It hits so many aesthetic points with just the rich, deep tones. I guess I have more to talk about.
You can, yeah, man.
And all the glowing effects. It is just delicious.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. All right.
Your turn again.
My turn again? Okay. So I didn't think about this, but apparently I have a theme for my books, because my other book that I wanted to talk about is another continuation of an animated series. Okay. It's actually technically 2. So this is a book. This is a fan comic. This isn't like an officially endorsed thing. You can buy this thing, or you can download this thing for free off of their website. It's called, I have it loaded up. It's called 5 Years Later. It's by a group called InkInk. And again, you can download this at any time for free. And basically what it is, it's the continuation of the storyline of Danny Phantom and Ben 10.
Okay. I'm digging it.
It's so the art style is okay. It's good. It looks nothing like the original shows that they came from. It's got some interesting like shading and stuff like that, but basically what happened, so Ben 10 and Danny Phantom both kind of ended poorly, I guess. Danny Phantom was going through some hella, like, we're gonna cancel this show 3 times before it actually stops airing, you know? You know, there's some really cool plot and story stuff that happens in that show, but at the end of the day, they canceled Danny Phantom at the end of season 3 with a 1 hour special that was not what people were looking for. Oof. There were so many storylines and characters that they were setting up in the last season of that show, and then the final episode is a 1 hour special about a ghost meteor gonna crash into the Earth. It's
space ghosts.
It's
okay.
It's space. Well, it's Danny. Oh. It's Danny Phantom. You know.
But is that the tie-in for Ben 10, the space ghost thing?
No. So what it is, I haven't read the whole thing. I've only read the first chapter. So what happens is it's 5 years later, and that's what the book is called. It's called 5 Years Later. Danny.
That tracks.
Yeah, Danny now works with his dad. To search the ghost zone, which is their portal to the realm of ghosts and stuff like that, and they're just exploring and searching for ghosts and dealing with the bad guy ones. And Danny accidentally gets sent to another universe, the universe where Ben 10 is, which he is also 5 years older than where the last main run series ended, which was Ben 10 Omniverse, which also ended poorly because after a while, everyone kind of the people who made Ben 10 forgot that the character had growth. And by that I mean this character evolved. He was a snotty 10-year-old, and then his next series he actually was a matured, somewhat 15-year-old, and he was maturing, right? And he was becoming a different character, but it was the same character but newer, right? He was actually adapting and doing a good job. At some point, that show decided, man, people really liked this show when he was a 10-year-old. Let's make him act like that again. So out of nowhere, in Ben 10 Alien Force season 2 and 3, he went from being actually this fairly mature, good superhero to, I'm going to be annoying again. For no reason other than maybe this will help views. And it actually killed the show.
No, that makes sense. I mean, you're alienating your current fan base.
Alienating.
Ha. Ha. Ha.
Ha. Ha.
Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. But the show kept going for a long time. They did the Ultimate Alien run, and then they did Omniverse, which was a complete art style change. Which the art style itself wasn't bad, but the basic mascot of that show was an alien that was made out of Legos, which is a very different visual feel than that show
like
ever did.
Step down.
It was a
honestly.
step down. And the funny thing is like that was the mascot alien, but he never used it in the show. But in every commercial, you would see that Lego alien, and it's just like, what's your marketing plan here? I don't understand.
They didn't have a marketing
They were just
plan.
like, and then eventually the show got rebooted. I haven't seen anything of the reboot.
He's back to being an annoying kid.
He's an annoying kid, and Tara Strong is being Ben again, which is always awesome. It's not Paul Eiding as Grandpa Max anymore, which is unfortunate. But what's that art style? It's like, it's kind of Steven Universe, and also like
it's Cartoon Network Renaissance.
Yeah, it's current Cartoon Network art style.
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of style was popularized by like, you know, Adventure Time, the kind of like looser, not totally on model animation.
Yeah.
And then, Steven Universe is the next big one, and Teen Titans, also pretty. Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to animation geek for a second there.
No,
but
the
Cartoon Network's Renaissance, or as guys on Reddit call it, CalArts style. Which is not correct.
That's not correct.
I digress.
Yes.
It's Comics Day.
Comics Day. It's all for me. It's Animation Day, but yes. So both of these shows just kind of ended poorly. So this guy decided I didn't like that, so he continues the storyline and then combines it.
Cool.
And I'm not super far into it. I know that at some point Invader Zim shows up in this, and also Generator Rex, and so I'm excited to keep reading.
This is absolutely just fan fiction, and I'm digging it.
It literally is just fan fiction, which is why when you said
crossover fanfic, nonetheless, which is even more surprising.
Like, I can almost guarantee you, me as like a little kid definitely had the idea of like, what if Ben 10 and Danny Phantom hung out, you know?
Yeah.
And I've definitely drawn that art before, you know?
Yeah.
Because I loved both of those shows immensely growing up. Still do, to an extent.
To veer off for a second, but on the, you know, childhood TV shows and stuff that you'd like combined in your heads, my favorite thing is that they're doing a canonical Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Power Ranger team up, because that was my fantasy jam when I was like 8, and I would play as the Red Power Ranger teaming up with the Ninja Turtles. That was my go-to game.
Yeah, man.
And the fact that is currently a comic that is in production that I own, I haven't read it yet, that makes me so happy.
I know, it's really cool. Did you ever see the Power Rangers episode, like, forever ago, where they did hang out with the Ninja Turtles?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that was a thing.
That exists.
Holy moly.
That exists. It's so... I need to remember... There is a series of the Ninja Turtles, and I think, and you'll know about this when I tell you, is when they introduce the female turtle, Venus de Milo.
Oh. Yeah, I remember.
It's not a good series. It's not good. Shredder's not really the bad guy anymore. Like, the bad guy is a very Power Rangers-esque, like, I am a Dragon King bad guy.
Yes. That was my imitation of every Power Rangers villain.
Yeah, he's not like a big Zorg or robot or anything, but he's this giant Dragon King looking dude. Dragon Man, right?
Okay.
I think it was made by the people who made Power Rangers at the time. I could be wrong.
That would make sense.
But it's it's similar in like filming style. It's live action. It was a TV show. They made a movie for it. But that Ninja Turtles crew met with whoever the Power Rangers were at that point in time for like a crossover series, for like a crossover episode. And the bad guy for that episode, I believe, was the dragon guy from the Ninja Turtle show. It's forever ago. I have not even seen the episode, but I
You
know
just
that
know that
I
it
know that it
exists.
exists, and I've seen the screenshots and went. I still get mad because I'm like, why is Venus de Milo there? Can she not be there? Can this turtle that somehow has boobs not be in this show?
Yeah, I think they just introduced a female turtle in the comics run. I think she's better done than that.
I do not read Ninja Turtles. It's the weirdest thing. I've always loved the Ninja Turtles, like, but for some reason I just can't read it.
Apparently, they recently like hit a point in between storylines in like issue 4 something, 400 something, that is like a good jumping in point. And so that's where I'm going to try to jump in.
Yeah, I might try as well just to give it a shot, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Just part of me just has never been able to get into the books themselves.
Yeah, I mean, we all have things like that. I can't get into Batman for the life of me.
It's so hard. It's so hard to read
There's so much Batman out there, and I don't. I have patience for grimdark, broody nonsense, but apparently just not when it comes to Batman comics.
Yeah, I mean, and also, like, I like to read, and we've talked about this before, but in the context of other people are listening, when I read Batman, I usually find, like, the graphic novels or the collections that I've already heard a million things about.
Yeah.
So, like, you know...
Batman Who Laughs.
Batman
Easy.
Who Laughs.
Killing Joke.
Killing Joke, Long Halloween. Like,
yeah.
What is it called? I have it right here. Batman The Long Halloween. The Long Halloween is amazing.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Returns is so good. Like, all of those are super good books, and I highly recommend them. It's
really hard to get into the mainline series.
I can't. Like, I literally, like, if someone said you need to start reading issue to issue every month of current Batman, I'd be like, no, I don't want to do that.
I mean, physically possible. Am I going to enjoy it? Probably not.
There's some, I literally have no idea what's happening in it. All I know is there was, like, an interesting, like, City of Bane storyline going on right now, which, like, sounds interesting, but still, I'm just like, I don't care. Like, the only reason I'm excited about the Batman The Adventure Continues is because it's literally a continuation of the best version of the character.
Yeah. I don't know. Lego Batman's real good.
It's... They're so mean to him. They don't invite him to the Justice League party.
Yeah, I know. It's hilarious. It's supposed to be an illustration of how he pushes everyone away.
It does. And he does. He does. I know.
And then he does it, and it's found family trope, which I love. Mm-hmm. But I digress.
It's good. I liked Batman's role in the first Lego movie a lot. And I liked the Lego Batman movie. It's... Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the same Lego Batman.
It's not.
There's no way.
I don't know. Something about Will Arnett just trying to do the Dark Knight voice, the voice, just I just don't care for that voice that much.
But it's hilarious.
It's funny, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair,
I do like Joker in that movie though. I do like Joker. That is
the purest and one of the only 2 versions of Joker I can stand. Mm-hmm. He's very good.
But that's why
the comedic effect.
Joker in Batman the Brave and the Bold and the original animated series are so good. I love those versions of that character.
Is he actually funny?
He's funny, like, you know? He's funnier in Brave and the Bold because everyone in Brave and the Bold is funny. Okay, I have homework for you, if you so desire.
Oh, shit.
I know.
Okay.
Find an episode of Batman the Brave and the Bold. And just watch it at some point.
Okay.
I love that TV show. It's so good. Okay. Literally, there's an episode where Batman has a sing-off with the Black Canary to break her mind control. And Batman sings like a fucking god.
Okay. Yeah, I will definitely look up probably that specific episode.
I can link you that scene. I just watched it yesterday going, I love this show. And it's the guy who voices Batman is the guy who voices Batman in the Harley Quinn show on DC right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But, like, it's going back to, like, the hokey Batman.
Which is I love that Batman.
It's a hokey Batman, but they darken him slightly. It's like a darker, hokey Batman. He still kind of talks like, Joker, your menacing ways are done. I am going to take you in, you know? But it's oh god. But the big gimmick of that show is that he teams up with somebody every episode.
Oh, okay.
And there's an episode where Batman, and it's based off of the Crisis on Two Earths.
Okay.
Crisis on Two Earths,
not Infinite.
There's both. There's both of those exist.
Yeah.
But there's this Batman travels to another dimension where the bad guys are the good guys and the good guys are the bad guys.
A classic swap.
But all of the superheroes have different names. Like Blue Beetle is the Red Scarab or something like that.
Okay.
There's some real dumb stuff in there, but I think Red Tornado was like blue Cyclone or something like that. There's some real dumb stuff. But in that world, the Joker is the Red Hood. And he's a superhero. And he teams up with that guy. Well, because traditionally Joker was the Red Hood before Jason Todd was. And he wears that getup. Like, he's got, like, the normal Joker suit, and then he's got a red cape and a stupid, like, red, like, ball on his head. But he's a good guy, right? And you don't get the visual reveal that he's the Joker in that show. He's just known as the Red Hood. But Batman seeing him is like, I know exactly who this is, but I'm not going to say anything. Because this guy is a total psychopath in my world.
That tracks.
But the Joker, the normal villain Joker in that show, and that Red Hood are super funny characters. It's good. Do your homework, or don't. It's fine. It's a good show. It's a very good show.
I'll try to fit your homework in around my homework.
Yeah, I mean, I also have homework.
Finals coming up.
Oh my gosh.
I'll talk about my last one now?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so my last one is another Image comic, and it is Injection.
I've never heard of this.
It's by Warren Ellis, and lines are by Declan Shalvey, and colors by Jordi Belair. And they collaborated together for a run of Moon Knight through Marvel. And they've all done other stuff with Marvel.
Moon Knight's a real normal dude.
Yeah. But Injection follows, it's like kind of a mashup of a lot of different British TV and culture. And so there's like references to Doctor Who and to James Bond and the like, right? But the plot is like these 5 individuals who are like extremely intelligent or skilled are asked by the government to do like a think tank.
That's what happened to us. I'm just keep going. Sorry, I derailed you.
You did. I've lost. Basically, to like talk about human culture. I was not smart enough on my first read through to like kind of pick up on exactly what they were doing. But in the end, they made this AI that. The AI got too smart. They thought they deleted it. They did a bad job. It's coming back to bite them in the butt, basically.
Okay. That sounds pretty normal for AIs.
But it like pulls from like classic British Isles myth and lore.
Oh, interesting.
To affect people, and then it also like can infect and control people and manipulate reality. And it's like really good, and then you just get totally lost in this side plot of like, oh, this guy is a spy, and this guy is like a rich cannibal.
You gotta love those rich cannibals.
And then this guy is like a green man who then gets eaten by the AI, and it's only like it's not done. The last issue was released in I think 2017. There's only 15 issues, but the guy's like, oh yeah, there'll be more. I just don't want to work on it right now.
They use the Inception font for the covers.
Yeah.
Yep. That sounds actually super interesting. I have not heard of this
all of them
at all.
except issue 13, And it's another one that has just like really, really great art, and I can't say that it's a lot of fun because it's a lot darker and gorier.
Yeah, but also like there's nothing necessarily fun about like Die either. That's also a very dark and brooding story.
There's not a lot of humor, but it's still enjoyable. Like again, the colors get me every time. The color and the art style is just phenomenal, and it hits this intersection of merging imagination and lore with like cyberpunk shit that just gets me.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
If you tell me cyberpunk's in something, I'm generally going to try to read it at least once.
Yeah. Also, the guy who wrote it, probably one of the reason that he hasn't like worked on this a bit more to get the next issues released is he's currently a writer on Castlevania,
like
for Netflix.
The Netflix show.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right?
That's cool.
Yeah. He also worked on a couple like video games and stuff in the span, so it's like,
what was his name
they're
again?
Busy. It's, scroll back.
Was that
Warren Ellis?
Yeah, Warren Ellis. I know the name.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's done a bunch of other comics.
This guy. Yeah. Snap, dude. This guy's got a good...
Yeah, Astonishing X-Men, Thunderbolts, the Extremist story arc of Iron Man. I'm pulling directly from Wikipedia.
I'm literally looking at the Wikipedia right now.
The one that was the basis for Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Wrote a run of Hellblazer.
Oh,
did some James Bond.
He wrote Dead Space. Oh my gosh.
He also
so
wrote the animated G.I. Joe Resolute film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But just like the combination of folklore and cybernetics and just reality manipulation, it's really good, and I will totally lend it to you.
You should.
I have
I'm super
14
interested.
of the 15 issues. Unfortunately, they didn't have issue 13, but this is the first comic I picked up. When I first went to Aegis last summer, I was not willing to ask for help. I did not know what I wanted, so I looked in the back issue bins, and they had basically the entire run of this, and I picked it up, and I took it home, and I was like, my mind is blown. I was expecting not that. When I went to the comic shop, I was going to pick up, your classic comic staples of Avengers and DC, and instead I ended up with something that hits every other story. Like, I don't have words. It hit every good part for me in every aspect, and I do attribute my continuing interest in comics to picking up this instead of something like Joker.
Yes, I understand. Let's see. The first time I went to Aegis, I remember it was the second or third day it was even open. I was like, I'm gonna go. I want to go in. I want to meet the people who are running this place. I want to support this place, in some way, shape, or form. So day one of me going there, I'm gonna buy something. Go in. I buy issue 1 of the original Infinity Gauntlet run, which I have on a frame on a wall. It's not like the original one. I think it was like a re-release. It was only like $30, but that was the first thing I ever bought. The second thing I ever bought was Seven Deadly Sins. I got the trade collection. I got the full volume book of Seven Deadly Sins by TKO, and that book is good. I like me a Western, and I really enjoyed that book. Everything TKO is doing, TKO. I keep on saying Tico.
That's not quite right.
This is Tico.
Isn't that the bird dog in?
No, that's
Trico.
That's Toriko.
I was close.
No, so it's a weird, dumb side tangent. He's called Trico. He's spelt Trico, but the kid in the game very clearly calls him Toriko, so it's very unclear.
Like, he overemphasizes the T. Okay,
like,
whatever.
The kid says Toriko, but then all of like the writing in the game calls him Trico, and it's like, what's your name, dude?
What's your name, man?
What's your name? But yes, no, everything that TKO is making is really cool, and I want to read.
Agreed.
I want to read more of it.
I need to get the one about the wrestling lady.
Yeah,
That's also really good. I got the Banks, the not Killing Eve, Curse of Eve. The one about the rain that turns men into monsters. That one was also really good. And then Extinction, I think, is the name of it. The one about the spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
I got those three. Can't remember the names of them because I'm
I'm trying to. Let's see. They've got the Banks, Pound for Pound.
That's the one I wanted to pick
Sentient.
up. That's the space one, not Extinction.
I want to read
Eve of Extinction. Eve of Extinction is the one about the men rain.
Yes.
Also very good.
I want to read Fearsome Dr. Fang because that guy just looks freaking spooky.
Okay.
They've got a whole like art style of their own. It's super good, and they're actually doing really cool stuff for comic shops right now, which is super cool.
100% of their, like basically the cut the shop would have gotten for you buying it in there, they'll send to the store if you buy it on their online shop, so they can send it right to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they said it's like 50%.
Really cool.
Like they're gonna give 50% of their profit on a book to whoever.
Yeah.
Whoever shop they send it to, which is awesome, and I think that's super cool.
Yeah, since so many places are closing down, quote unquote non-essential businesses, it's really imperative to support your local comic shops.
Mm-hmm.
PSA.
Yeah. Definitely. And they're good books too, so
That's true.
Just read them, man. Now I just want to read Seven Deadly Sins again. I want to read all these books.
I went through looking for. I still have a stack of 6 more comics here that I'm stoked about, but I think that just about wraps us up, though.
Yeah, kind of. Oh, I wanted to ask because we still have a little bit of time. We've got like 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
You're reading Ghost Spider, aren't you?
Oh, I'm very bad at it, but yeah.
Like, how far are you?
I know I've read like the first 3 or 4.
Okay.
But I own through 10.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, like, is it good? Like, I'm reading it and I'm enjoying parts of it, but I can't tell if I like it or not.
I am actually in the same boat. I really like Gwen Stacy as, Ghost Spider, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Woman,
I'm glad
whatever
that they
she's
finally
called.
gave her a good name, because for a while she was just Spider-Woman.
Which there's like 30 Spider-Woman.
But the book was called Spider-Gwen, so like the labeling there was way off. So
yeah,
I think Ghost Spider's cool.
I am of mixed feelings about it. Like, I know I enjoy it on some level, but I also haven't like worked on reading it recently enough to have a really solid opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's one that I'm kind of neutral about.
Yeah,
like,
I would say
positive
so.
Neutral. Like, if 10 is like, this is my favorite comic ever, till 1, which is Joker.
He doesn't have his
eventually
own,
I'm gonna actually read a Joker comic and I'll be like, oh damn, this is really good.
Yeah.
Oh
gosh.
I would probably put it at a 6. Like, it's more than neutral, but I would have to reread it to give you a really good kind of personal feeling on it. I have some cute covers for it, though.
I have some variants as well that are awesome.
Black Cat MJ. The Scotty Young's the one that does like the chibi
stuff.
Yeah. Jacob got me the Scotty Young variant for issue 1.
I don't have that. That's awesome.
It's oh my gosh, it's so cute.
That's so cool.
I love it so much. It is in the box with my Virgin cover of They're Killing the Children and issue 1 of Joker, Year of the Villain.
Yeah.
Like, these are my favorites, and they're not being touched box, and those 3 are the only things in there.
Yeah, no, I have a pile of these I'm just going to put in frames and put them on my wall, and then I have a pile of these are going to get graded and then put on my wall. Because some of those books are like, this isn't going to be worth a lot in the future, but I love this cover. I love this art so much. it's you can't see any of the stuff, but I've got like Spawn 301 on my wall where it's like, this is a cool variant. I'm not sure how much this is going to be worth in the future, but
it looks cool.
It's really
I do
cool.
need to get myself some frames too, because
I can send you a link to the ones that I get that I really like. The one problem is you have to take them out of their board. Because they don't fit. And
that makes sense.
But also like they may not look good because there's like gloss behind plastic or something. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's they're cool. I can send you a link to those. They're very good. They're very sleek looking as well.
Yeah, I'll have to do some shopping around because
honestly, I think, talking about your like interest in like finding a good version of the Joker, the better version of Joker I've seen in a while is the one that I only read the first 3 issues, but I think that the Joker that's in Harleen is really good.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
They do a good job.
Harleen only has 3 issues. So.
I thought there was more than 3.
Just 3. It was limited run.
Did they just start like a new series after the 3 or something? Like, isn't that what Harley and Joker is or something like that?
I don't know. But Harleen is its own kind of.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it kept going or not, but I have read that.
Nope.
And the Joker.
I like the Joker. I just really like their stuff in general, though. Harleen is almost the one I grabbed, except I put all of my trades / my Harleen issues, because they're kind of bound like trades, in a box to go down to the crawl space for storage, so I don't have them on me.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I mean, let's be honest. You didn't talk about Harleen because both me and Jacob said, you're going to talk about Harleen, aren't you? And you went, no, don't call me out like this. I
literally was like, I'm too lazy to go in the crawl space to pull this out.
That's fine.
Because I wanted to have them right here in case I wanted to like flip through them to talk about the authors and stuff. So, get wrecked. It wasn't just me being stubborn.
The artist for Harleen, he's like a Swedish guy, right?
Yep.
That guy
does some really interesting stuff on the side.
Yeah. He does a lot. You follow that guy on Instagram and Twitter, and you're gonna get some interesting art.
Ugh. But also high quality. Occasionally, you get things like his Laura Croft and Wonder Woman crossover, which
the guy.
All of his Wonder Woman stuff.
I wonder if I can word this correctly. That guy creates like what am I looking for? He raw emotion. He does incredibly well. In the sense of like two people coming together in a relationship sense. Like the one picture from Harley I can think of is when Joker has his arms completely wrapped around Harley.
Yeah.
In like the most loving and caring way ever. And it's such a good picture.
Yeah. He's so good at capturing just both the raw chemistry between people and their bonds.
He gets it.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely attribute that to, like, his experience with his other comics, like Sunstone, that he's been working on forever, that, wholly are involved and write about, or, like, the subject is people's relationships. Even though it's not safe for work, and it's not something you necessarily want to read with other people in the room.
A lot of the stuff that guy draws
but the emotional
is not
connections
safe for work.
in there, the emotions and the relationship development is something that he just both writes and draws extremely well.
Yeah.
That's all there really is to say about it.
His like most recent post on Twitter, he had it was 4 pictures of just 4 different relationships he was drawing, basically. One was like Aquaman and Johnny Depp's wife. I can't remember that character's name. But like
it's not Merida, but that's what my brain says.
Yeah, no, that's a Disney.
She's feisty and has red hair.
She changed her feet, okay? No, there's like a shot of them together, and it's like, this is good. I hate both of these characters, but this is a good picture. Anytime that guy draws Wonder Woman as well, it's just like, this is going to be a good picture. Like, it's gonna be good art.
I want him to do a Wonder Woman, like a comic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would.
That's what I
read,
want.
I would read that.
Yeah.
Shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, the funniest thing is people will constantly message him on Twitter, like, "Can you do some Marvel stuff?" And he's like, "God, I hate Marvel. I hate it. I hate Marvel." Like, he hates it, man. It's so funny. And he's like, "I'm not gonna draw these characters." And they're like, "Why?" It's like, because I don't like them.
Yeah, I mean, every artist has the right to choose their subject matter, and if... Yeah, I cannot blame
Honestly,
him.
I feel like his art style wouldn't work that well with a lot of the Marvel characters, though.
You're right. I don't know why you're right, but I think you're right.
Like, I'm trying to think of a character that I feel like Wolverine would be a good fit for that art style if he drew him like Hugh Jackman.
Some of the X-Men, I think, would look great in his style. I would love to see him do Storm, but again,
Storm,
he hates Marvel.
Cyclops,
wouldn't ask him.
Like Cyclops and Emma Frost. And
Dark Phoenix.
Put some,
I mean, he does have a thing for, dark, spooky, powerful women, and I respect that wholeheartedly.
It's a good choice.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
And no, I just found that to be really funny. It's like, I'm gonna draw my OG characters, my original OCs, and then I'm just gonna draw DC stuff because I'm getting paid to draw that stuff, and I also like these characters immensely. It's like, yeah, that's good. That's totally
He's
fair.
making it work.
It's good art. It's good art. But yeah, no, Harleen was good, and I liked that interpretation of the Joker. It kind of turns into like, well, this is just the same Joker that's always been, but they did a good job of updating that storyline with Harley.
Yeah.
Did you ever read like the original, like, This Is Where Harley Quinn Came From book?
No. I mean, I'm familiar with it just by... Actually, no. I mean, like, I've seen clips and scans online, so, like, yes.
Because, well, technically speaking, Harley Quinn's introduction was in the animated series. But, like, literally at the same exact time, they released a book that was her introduction, which is called, I think it's Mad Love or something like that. I cannot remember. But it's drawn in the same art style as the animated series. It's fairly old at this point, but it's pretty good.
Okay. I will have to add that to my list of homework to look up after we get... After finals.
After finals. Gosh, I have so much... I mean, right after this, I'm going, like, I have to put a hold on editing this because I gotta go write a paper. I have to write a critique on Frankenstein, and I finally watched that last night.
Yeah,
Gosh,
I have...
It's so good.
2 weeks of lab work and a 6-page essay due tonight. Or, well, tomorrow night, but I only have time for it today.
Yeah.
So...
That's the time that we're in right now.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that I just was like, hey, stage management's done. I finished it.
I still cannot hardly get it to work on my computer. It finally loaded,
It sucks.
so
E-Wolf is horrible.
yeah. Before we turn our comics chat into a complaint about homework chat, we should probably sign off.
Yeah, we're done. Hey guys, we did it live. We were doing it live. Now we're not doing it live anymore.
Dude, we're gonna do it dead because homework.
We're dying.
I can't even be funny. That's how tired I am.
I read you. But this was fun. Thanks for joining me today, Olivia.
Yeah, thanks for letting me talk. Thank you for limiting me and not letting me talk about 8 comics.
Hey, that's just part 2 next week. Just kidding.
We just do comics. It's just a comic cast from here on out.
Lou.
Sorry, guys.
We'll put Lou on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll get, some kind of deal with the Aegis' podcast.
It's like, hey,
so
we both have podcasts. Let's be podcast buddies.
Yeah.
No, thank you. This was a lot of fun. Let's do it again next time. Maybe next week. Let's do this podcast thing again. We'll figure it out.
We should definitely do this podcast thing again, like next week.
Yeah, maybe. Also, just putting it out there for the people that have been texting me with support and saying that they really like the podcast and giving suggestions and things like that. Thank you. You guys are all awesome. You're motivating me, and I think you're motivating both of us to want to keep doing this, and we're having a blast. So we're gonna keep going.
You're not motivating me. I haven't heard from any y'all.
Yeah, well, you know,
fight me. I haven't gotten any positive feedback about this.
Have you shared it yet?
All of my friends that are listening to this, text me something nice, huh?
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah,
We'll see
thanks,
you.
guys.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Yep. Bye.